Welcome to the Time Traveler Strategy. Imagine being able to see your completed, perfectly graded exam paper before you even walk into the hall. That is exactly what we're going to achieve today. We are working entirely backwards from success. Whether you are prepping for syllabus codes 0417, 0478, 2210, 9618, or specifically the Cambridge IT 9626 paper we are reverse engineering today, the game is exactly the same. Let's look at a real past paper scenario dealing with reducing effects digital literacy teaching. I want to introduce you to two very typical students. First, we have Alex. Alex is a human encyclopedia. Alex overloads every single answer with massive paragraphs of raw computer science facts, but includes absolutely zero actual analysis. Then we have Sam. Sam is always watching the clock. Sam rushes in, completely misses the specific command word requirements, and answers a question the examiner never actually asked. We've all been an Alex or a Sam at some point. Today, we're going to look at their completely flawed red inked answers, and I'm going to show you exactly how to transform them into top-tier, examiner-approved masterpieces.
But first, I want to ask you an incredibly crucial question to set the stakes here. Why are we focusing so hyper-specifically on this one digital literacy topic? Because when you are staring down a massive, intimidating computer science syllabus, it is way too easy to treat every single bullet point as if it carries the exact same weight. You study a little bit of networking, a little bit of hardware, a little bit of social impact, but the actual exam data tells a very, very different story. Not all topics are created equal, and understanding how the marks are truly distributed is the ultimate secret weapon for anyone wanting to seriously dominate this exam. Yes, you heard that right. An absolutely incredible 15% of your total marks in Paper 2 rely on your complete mastery of this specific digital literacy syllabus point. Think about that for a second. That is a massive chunk of your final grade sitting in just one tiny subsection of the syllabus. That 15%, that is literally the difference between an A star and a B. It's the difference between scraping a pass and completely securing your target grade. If you can lock down the exact methodology the examiners want for this specific 15%, you are building an unbelievable safety net for your overall score. You aren't just studying harder, you are studying significantly smarter. So, how exactly do we secure those marks without burning out? Here is our roadmap to working backwards from what the examiner actively wants to see on your paper. We are going to break this down into 4 actionable phases. First, we'll decode the cognitive domains so you understand the underlying psychology of the exam. Second, we will reveal the procedural framework. This is where we introduce the Peel method to fix Alex and Sam's answers. Third, we will run through a critical analysis interactive workshop. And finally, we'll cover the biggest examiner warnings so you don't fall into the most common traps. All right, let's jump straight into phase 1, decoding cognitive domains. If you don't understand what the examiners actually want, you are basically playing a game without knowing the rules. Every single question on your Cambridge computer science paper is built around specific assessment objectives, which are triggered by command words. This is exactly where Sam goes wrong. Sam sees a question about digital literacy and just starts writing everything they know. But if the command word is evaluate and Sam only describes, Sam loses all the marks. Period. You have to decode the command word to understand the cognitive domain the examiner is targeting. This breakdown perfectly illustrates the 3 distinct cognitive domains the assessment objectives are targeting: knowledge and understanding, application, and analysis. This proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that raw memorization simply isn't enough. You might know everything about digital divides and literacy teaching, but if you only demonstrate knowledge and fail to apply or analyze it in the context of the scenario, you are leaving 2/3 of your potential marks completely untouched. This is where we introduce the Peel framework: point, evidence, explanation, link. Top students structure every single answer this way. Make your point, back it up with evidence, provide your explanation, and critically link it back to the question. Let's do a quick mental test. I'm going to give you 30 seconds mentally. If I say schools need tablets, is that Peel? No, that's just a point. If I say schools need tablets because it increases engagement by 40%, allowing tailored software learning, which directly solves the digital literacy gap in this rural scenario, boom, that is a full Peel structure. Before we continue, subscribe to our YouTube channel Ace the Exams at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon right now. Let's look at what the actual academic benchmarks state. The framework firmly prioritizes analytical depth over superficial breadth. This brings us right back to Alex. Remember Alex? Alex will write down 20 different unconnected facts about computer networks and digital literacy. That is superficial breadth. The examiner doesn't want a brain dump. They are looking for logical, highly structured reasoning. They would infinitely rather see you take 2 deeply insightful, highly relevant points and analyze them thoroughly using that Peel framework than see you frantically list 10 different generic facts with absolutely zero explanation. Depth always wins.
Which leads us perfectly into phase 2, the procedural framework, earning what we call the method marks. This is where the magic happens. We are going to take the red pen marked, completely flawed answers from Alex and Sam, and we are going to run them through our specific methodology. We're going to transform those failing responses into green check marks right before your eyes. You see, the actual process of getting to your answer in computer science is just as important as the final answer itself. If you don't show the examiner how you got there, they can't reward your logic.
To systematically tackle these digital literacy questions, you must follow these 5 exact procedural steps. This is your computer science success blueprint. Step 1, deconstruct the question. Highlight that command word. Step 2, extract the relevant data from the specific scenario provided. Step 3, select your analytical framework, in our case, the Peel method. Step 4, execute your analysis with clear, readable notation. And finally, Step 5, present your findings using the correct professional terminology. Let's look at Sam's rewrite. Sam originally wrote, "Computers help kids learn." 0 marks. After our blueprint, Sam writes, "Implementing interactive whiteboards, that's the point, facilitates multisensory learning, that's the evidence. This caters to diverse learning speeds, the explanation, thereby directly reducing the specific digital literacy gap outlined in the school's brief. That's the link." We just went from 0 marks to full marks in 1 sentence.
Speaking of presentation, if you want to completely secure your practical application marks, you also need to strictly adhere to these specific presentation conventions. Examiners are explicitly looking for proper headings, highly accurate professional terminology, don't say computer parts, say hardware peripherals, the appropriate format for the data, and crystal clear annotation. Remember, practical application in this topic is about developing professional, real-world skills. If your answer looks messy, disorganized, or uses casual language, you are throwing away incredibly easy method marks. Stop scrolling. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. We've helped thousands of students improve by 2 to 3 grade boundaries. Join them right now by subscribing to @acetheexams_IGCSE and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly exam strategy sessions. All right, you're locked in. Now it is time for phase 3, critical analysis. We are going to run a fast-paced interactive workshop right now focusing on how you deconstruct, solve, and evaluate. For challenge 1, I want you to imagine a complex computer science data chart on your screen showing internet adoption rates across different socioeconomic zones over 5 years. You have a mental 60-second visual countdown timer ticking down right now. Can you extract the core trend? Don't just look at the highest number, look at the rate of change. The skill here is rapid data scanning to find the exact evidence you need for the E in your Peel paragraph. Moving to challenge 2, find the flaw. I'm going to give you a flawed sample paragraph, and you need to spot the issue. Here it is. The urban school implemented tablets, which increased engagement. The rural school also got tablets, but costs went up. What's missing there? Why would an examiner dock marks? The answer is the lack of comparative connectives. A truly top-tier comparative analysis demands you identify both similarities and differences. And crucially, you must link them using specific words like whereas, conversely, or similarly. You can't just list 2 facts side by side. You must explicitly compare them using evidence to build a real argument. Now for challenge 3, speed writing. Whenever you are faced with a complex scenario, your problem-solving process should fall into a highly predictable rhythm. Imagine a 30-second timer on your screen. Your goal is to outline 1 perfect Peel paragraph. You first identify the given information, you break it down into logical steps, you solve it systematically, and then, this is the absolute kicker that most students completely forget, you check your results for reasonableness and make justified recommendations based on the data. It is a continuous, relentless loop of deconstruct, solve, and evaluate. If you can master this loop, you are essentially bulletproof in the exam hall. We are now in the final stretch. Phase 4, examiner warnings. We are going to look directly into the principal examiner reports. These are the highly confidential documents where the people grading your papers vent their frustrations about what students do wrong year after year. We've synthesized this into the ultimate final cheat sheet. The 3 rules that guarantee top marks are 1, command word decoding, 2, flawless Peel framework application, and 3, the time management matrix, allocating your minutes based strictly on the mark weighting. But let's look closely at where things fall apart. According to the actual data from the examiners, these are the top 3 guaranteed ways to hemorrhage points on this 15% topic. Mistake number 1,
being far too vague. Saying technology is good for learning is useless. Examiners desperately want specific technical details. Mistake number 2, completely neglecting your formatting and presentation conventions, which immediately signals a lack of professional methodology. And mistake number 3, which is the absolute worst offender of them all, writing answers that are completely detached from the specific context of the question. Let's zoom right in on that last point because it is the biggest, most dangerous trap on the entire Cambridge IT 9626 paper. I cannot emphasize this enough. The ultimate classic mistake is what we call the copy-paste trap. This is exactly what Alex does. Alex memorizes a gorgeous, textbook-perfect generic answer about how to teach digital literacy and then just vomits it onto the exam paper regardless of the specific scenario. You might write a beautifully worded paragraph, but if it doesn't apply to the exact, unique situation the exam paper gave you, you will score a brutal, unforgiving 0. So here is your non-negotiable golden rule. To truly ace this, you must explicitly link every single analytical point back to the specific context provided. This is the L in your Peel framework. If the scenario is about an underfunded rural school implementing a brand new digital literacy program, your answer absolutely must talk about the unique constraints, the specific bandwidth issues, and the hardware limitations of that exact rural school, not just schools in general. Context is quite literally everything. So the ultimate question is, in your next practice paper, will you fall back on a generic summary like Alex, or will you use the Peel framework to craft a context-specific analytical masterpiece? Students who implement these computer science strategies see an average improvement of 2 grade boundaries, but only if they practice consistently with our weekly videos. Here's your final reminder. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Subscribe right now to @acetheexams_IGCSE and click that bell. Don't let another exam pass you by. Drop a comment below with your target grade for computer science and the biggest challenge you're facing. Our team responds to every comment. Like and share this video with a study partner. Ace the Exams. Your Cambridge success starts here.